This morning I came across a creator who said not all narcissists are abusers, but all abusers are narcissists. And I tried to stitch her video, but when I went to go post my video, it looked like she took it down. So I'll just say that sentiment not only speaks to a deep misunderstanding of what narcissism is, but it can also act as an eraser because it invalidates the lived experience of so many abuse survivors. And as a survivor of abuse herself, I know that's not her intent. She is looking at commonalities and why so many women think their abusive ex was a narcissist. There's a reason why we use the term malignant narcissist. And that's because not all narcissists are abusive. That part is true. But to say all abusers are narcissists is where she gets it wrong. Think of a narcissist like a toddler who never grew up. They're stuck in their own little world where everyone is a supportive character. They're the star of the show, and everyone who's lived with a toddler knows that toddlers can be very mean, and sometimes their words and actions can even seem cruel. But we also know they're only 2 years old. They're just leading with their emotions rather than their prefrontal cortex. They have a difficult time using their words and describing their lived experience. And they're just trying to get their needs met, but they can't fully explain what their needs are. And that's how narcissists are too. So the truth is, narcissistic traits can be seen in anyone, everyone. It's in our moments of selfishness when we huff and we puff about things not going our way, because narcissism is a spectrum and everyone is on it. But in that spectrum, it becomes a personality disorder when it interferes with our ability to function and maintain relationships without the other person doing all the emotional labor. Narcissists, though, have an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that deals with executive function like planning, decision making, working memory, and impulse control. It also plays a key role in social behavior, emotional regulation, personality expression, and reasoning. So narcissists can be abusive, absolutely. But have you ever noticed that if you explain to a toddler that they hurt you, they'll often take accountability too? They might apologize and even offer you a hug. They don't make excuses. They accept your reality. And some narcissists can too. Emotions are difficult for all of us to manage. But for people with functional prefrontal cortexes, it's a lot easier to compartmentalize without dissociation. Fully functional adults don't need to distract and disconnect from every uncomfortable feeling. And so I think the problem is villainization of narcissists rather than the abusive behavior. And don't get me wrong, if you want to say it's all narcissists until it's no narcissists, the way people say it's all men until it's no men, go right ahead. I'm a big believer that not all people deserve love, at least not from anyone other than their parents. Because avoidant people, narcissists, dark triads, they should be left alone. They're not capable of loving others, so leave them alone. Force them to heal in order to rejoin society, or let their bloodlines die off. I'm okay with that. The bigger problem, though, in that way of thinking is that people then think abuse only comes from villains, someone cruel, someone malicious, someone who means to hurt you. But the biggest misconception most people have about abuse is that it requires bad intentions. It doesn't. It requires bad behavior that crosses your boundaries and takes away your autonomy, but intent has nothing to do with it. They can have perfectly good intentions, and they could want nothing but the best for you and still abuse you. Why? Because abuse can be dressed up like concern, care, and safety. Some of the most dangerous abusers didn't wake up thinking, I'm going to hurt someone today. They woke up believing they're protecting someone, helping someone, guiding someone, or that someone needs them. to take control and make the right decisions. But control wrapped in love is still control. A gentle tone can still disguise domination. And "I did it because I care about you" can be the beginning of a cage. Positive intent doesn't erase harm. Someone can think they're doing the right thing while they're suffocating your independence, dismissing your voice, or deciding your whole life for you. And that's why intent doesn't matter, because you're living with the impact, not their reasoning. Here's the part that people don't want to hear. You can cause abuse out of fear or insecurity, or you can cause abuse out of overprotectiveness and the belief that you know better. You don't need hatred or ill intent to be controlling. You just need a lack of respect or a blindness for someone else's boundaries. So when someone says they didn't mean to, they were trying to help, they love you, those things don't change what happened. They don't reset the damage. They don't rewrite the behavior. Intent belongs to the person who acted, but impact belongs to the person who lived it. And when you're trying to understand your situation, the only question that matters is, did their actions take away my autonomy, my safety, or my voice? Because that's what defines abuse, not how pure their intentions sounded when they explained it later. So don't get caught up thinking all abusers are narcissists. Some of them are wounded people who we see as incredibly selfless in appearance, operating from a place of kindness, protection, and love. Control without your consent is abuse, and consent should always be freely given, informed, and enthusiastic. If it's not, then it's control by coercion or force, and that is abuse. In this context, not breaking the law or anything, or harming others, I think kids should be taught that once you've reached the point where you're capable of managing things on your own, no one should be doing anything for you or preventing you from doing anything without your consent.